I just wanted to come on here and say I'm sorry. I voted for him and I thought he was going to make things better for folks like us.
I regret my vote. I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump. And now, in the first few weeks of his presidency, thousands of people are losing their jobs. I lost my job. I was the director of operations of bear studies. For the last 4 years, we've been studying whether or not bears in fact shit in the woods. And now it's gone. It's all gone. What am I supposed to tell my family? What am I supposed to tell them? If you voted for Trump, I don't even know what to say except fuck you. All the money being taken, and all the jobs being lost. I don't know what to do.
It's Joe from Georgia. So voting has consequences, and those voters in the states of Kentucky and West Virginia are finding out that their vote, which by the way was overwhelmingly for Donald Trump in 2024, is coming back to haunt them. And the haunting is in the coal industry. The coal industry's had a tough time for decades. However, they had seen a new revival in that because they had a huge buyer in the world. Guess who? China. China is the biggest consumer of coal in the world, and they were buying it from companies out of West Virginia and Kentucky, where thousands of people are employed in the coal industry to make their living. Well, those people have been voting staunchly Republican for years. Well, in this instance, they are finally finding out that maybe they made a mistake. And not maybe, because the coal industry, once again, the largest consumer in the world of coal is China. The tariffs have made it to where China will not buy American coal. And without buying American coal, you're putting tens of thousands of people out of work in Kentucky, in West Virginia. So once again, voting has consequences, and you're finding out in Kentucky, in West Virginia. Good luck.
Yeah, we voted for Trump because he promised while he was campaigning like a million times that when he got into office, he was going to bring down prices, bring down grocery prices. The inflation has been high ever since COVID, and he promised he would bring that down. But it's obvious to me now that that was not true. Egg prices have skyrocketed. The bird flu is killing all the birds, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything about that. He's stopping disease communications from the disease centers in America, pulled us out of the WHO. Like, how does that help anything? And yeah, all he's been doing is taking away rights and freedoms, or trying to. He's not doing anything about the economy. So yeah, we totally regret our vote at this point. We've had a really tough time here in North Carolina. Half of my house got washed away in Hurricane Helene, and I applied for FEMA assistance and we got approved. But now Trump is canceling FEMA and emergency assistance to people. He's also canceled Medicaid for my children. I know they said they put a halt on his freezing of the funds, but the Medicaid portal is still not working, so we can't access anything for our children's health insurance.
Not proud of it, man enough to say it. I was one of those guys back in 2020, 2024, shit, even 2016 before I could vote. I was all for Trump. I was all for MAGA. I believed he was going to make America great again. I believed he was going to drain the swamp. I thought he was going to be different. He wasn't a career politician. And boy, was I wrong. My views didn't change. They still remain the same. I did fall for the deception, though, because I can't in good conscience support someone who's responsible for a pointless war where thousands of innocent lives are dying every single day. I can't support someone who mocked Christ on Easter. I sure as hell can't support someone who calls the people who want transparency on one of the most heinous and insidious acts in human history, the Epstein files, calls them liars and lunatics. He's probably a part of it himself. Can't support that. When it comes to politics, it's hard to even align myself with one of the parties because they're both being controlled by the same puppeteers at the top. So I was wrong. Not proud of it. Man enough to say it.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of this channel. So guys, just when I thought that we are in 2026, and as everyone might have thought, or as anyone else on this planet might have a thought, that the United States of America is one of the most civilized continent in the world, I would say so, but apparently it's not. Because tell me why a segment of Republican women would beat their chest hard and say that they do not want to vote, they want men to vote on their behalf, they want their spouses to vote on their behalf. So guys, there's currently a discussion that is going on in the USA, and most people are coming forth and they're actually regretting why they voted for your beloved President Trump. And things are getting ugly. Okay, before I go far, there's a video I did about the farmers complaining about they're not having workers, and that happened when there was a massive raid by the ICE agents. They were actually getting people out of the USA, and it didn't matter whether you were officially there, you have the documents that shows that you are a United States of America citizen or not. So the farmers, they really lost wide, or rather large, because some of the workers that were working for them apparently had to go, or had to hide, and now they are crying that they do not have workers. And that is not it. If you look at a larger segment that voted for Donald Trump, most people are actually crying right now because the work that they're doing itself is not sustaining them. For instance, if there is maybe 2 people working in a family of maybe 6 or 5, still it's not going to be enough. Look at the infrastructure. The infrastructure is deteriorating rather each and every time. Look at the health sector. Some of the people cannot even afford to, to get medical attention, to get medical welfare. And it's because of the person they voted for. But these people actually voted with a lot of emotions. And when they were voting, they were actually determined that they want to get the Black people out of their country. That was their main aim. And they also believe that this person, Trump, is going to be able to get the Black people out of their country. And they believed that some of the people who are suffering were Black people, and they are going to continue to suffer, not knowing that in this age and era we have Black people who are associating themselves into entrepreneurship. Some of them are big doctors, and if we look at even into the athletic arena, these people are really doing better than some of the white individuals. So for them, they voted according to race. They voted because they did not want to be associated with Black people anymore. And that is why, like, if you look at my videos, there's a video I did also about, the white community just complaining about everything. They're complaining about Blacks this, Blacks that, and everything. And also we have a group of people who actually also have not supported the Black community in the very, very, very long time. That is the Hispanic and the Latino community. These people did not even want to associate themselves with the Black community. But look at what the ICE did. Actually, a larger number of the Hispanic community were also sent back to their native homes. And what is sad is that if you were born in America and you've been there for the longest time, you've known that that is your country, where would you go? So they also suffered the same wrath that they thought the white people were going to come and deliberate them from. So this is just with any other person. And also there is a scientific research that was done. Most people who voted for this regime, they were actually people who did not have the basic education, but rather, you are white and you are ours, and we don't want those people anymore. So we are going to vote for you so that they suffer the wrath. But that is not what is currently going on. A lot of Republicans are coming forth and denouncing to not be part of this regime. They're actually crying and they're suffering just like the rest of us, So ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're new here, my name is Yvonne, and you are welcome to being part of my online family. Let me know what you think about this particular issue, this with the Republican and all, and leave the comments down below the section. I'd be glad if you subscribe to this channel, because that is the only way you can support me to be bringing you this type of content. And you know how we do. Until next time.